Hi there friends, welcome to your 5-minute parent enrichment session. I'm Charlotte from Enriching Environments, and today I'm going to tell you a little about why we avoid praising our young children and how we can show appreciation instead that builds connection. So, I'm sure you're thinking, why do we avoid praise anyway? Well, this topic comes up a lot during my parent enrichment sessions with families, and often if we've come from a strict family, we can want to really praise our children to do the opposite of what our parents did. However, for 5 reasons I'm going to tell you now, praise is not necessary. Number 1, every child around the world has an innate drive to learn, to improve their skills, to be the best they can be. They don't need our high fives and good job and you're so clever. Our praise just gets in the way of their natural desire to learn. Number 2, praise takes away from a child's pleasure in accomplishment. They don't get a chance to feel in their bodies what an achievement feels like or what overcoming a challenge feels like if we take their attention away from them and their experience and make it all about us and what we are saying. Number 3, praise is essentially manipulative. We say good boy or good girl as a way to make our children complicit and behave in the same way again. As we mentioned in point 2, we're making their behaviour about us and what outcomes we want rather than our child's accomplishments. Number 4, the truth is the more that we praise, the more our children will need. And as they get older, it's going to need to be bigger praise and more outlandish praise and bigger rewards. Interestingly, studies show that in the long term, children perform more poorly with reward systems because then they work towards doing the minimum to get the reward rather than working at their full capabilities and capacities to do the best they can for themselves. And number 5, excessive praise in childhood leads to entitled adults, dependent upon external validation from employers, co-workers and their partners. Praise is external validation, and what we want to do instead is to help our children to grow in their own intrinsic self-confidence and sense of self-worth. So, now I'm sure you're wondering, how do we show appreciation rather than praising? How do we create these new habits? Well, a good way to look at it is to think that we are creating a middle ground of no praise and rewards and no punishment either. It's most helpful for us to think about keeping focused on the child and their experience, what they have accomplished, their achievement. It's not about us and what we think about their achievement. We can think about acknowledging them and their efforts by using descriptive language, using warmth in our voice and in our body language. So, suggestion 1, you can state factually what your young child has done. So, for a 2-year-old who's just managed to put her shoes on, you could say, "You've put your shoes on." Number 2, for your 3-year-old who's just managed to get dressed by him or herself, you could say, "You did it by yourself. You got dressed, didn't you?" And number 3, when our child has been generous to us or to another child, you could say, "You gave the toy to Harry. That was really kind." Number 4, you can invite a conversation by showing interest in what your child has done. You could say, "The picture you've drawn is really detailed. Tell me about it," or "I'd love to hear about it." Number 5 is probably the hardest thing to do. Say nothing at all and just give a big smile. Let your warmth, appreciation and acknowledgement of your child show through your body language. Everyone wants to be appreciated and acknowledged, and children need to feel seen by their parents. They need to feel connected to us. This is just a different way of doing it. When our instinct might be to praise, we can connect instead. Saying thank you, showing interest and acknowledging our child or anyone else's efforts builds connections and bonding and allows self-confidence to grow from within. So, thank you so much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this session, please click the like button below. And if you have other topics that you'd like me to cover in these 5-minute parent enrichment sessions, then you can list them in the comments section below. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.